Hello everyone, I am Christine. Together with my groupmate Miss Alice, we will exhibit to you the art of ancient Greece, particularly during the classical era. The beginning of Western civilization started around 3,000 years ago in ancient Greece. Greeks are one of the most important and influential cultures not only of the ancient world, but also to ever exist. Ancient Greek art consists of 4 periods: Geometric period, Archaic period, Classical period, and Hellenistic period. For this video, we shall concentrate on the Classical period, also known as the Golden Age of art in ancient Greece. To understand how classical Greek style evolved and what made Greek so impressive, it's helpful to know what was happening in Greece culturally and politically. Ancient Greece started as city-states that were independent from each other. There were intense conflicts among these city-states that prevented these territories from uniting. It was not until a common enemy in the form of Persian Empire forced these city-states to forgo their rivalry and unite against the Persian army. The Golden Age of art began around 480 BCE when the Athenians gained complete dominance over Greece. It came to an end when Alexander the Great, king of Macedonia, died in 323 BCE. Many of the well-known ancient Greek artworks date from this period. One of them is the famous Parthenon Temple, built in honor of Athena, the Greek goddess of wisdom and the patroness of the city. And also, the statue of Athena, one of the ancient Greece's greatest sculptural masterpieces. Sculptures during classical period were more refined and are portrayed idealistically. They were sculpted according to how a perfect body might look to serve as an inspiration to its citizens. One of the most innovative and influential sculptures, Aphrodite of Cnidos, popularized the contrapposto pose. Contrapposto stand puts most of the figure's weight on one leg, turning the torso slightly, making the subject seem both dynamic and relaxed. Ancient Greek architecture is often characterized by the capitals that top the Greek columns. There are 3 decorative styles, the first of which is Doric, with broad and rectangular capitals. The second, Ionic, is distinguished by its capital which resembles scrolls. The final one, Corinthian, has a capital carved with stylized leaves of the acanthus plant. Other characteristics of ancient Greek art. Another characteristic of ancient Greek art is the golden ratio or divine proportion. This is the need to achieve perfect proportion. Greeks used mathematical equation called the golden ratio, which is supposed to represent the divine proportion. It is based on the Fibonacci sequence that defines the relationship between 2 proportions. Other than following the ideal proportions, the Greeks also loved colors. Their art, whether it was painting, sculpture, or structure, was brightly painted. Exposure to the sun and other elements has made the colors fade, leaving us with the familiar pure white marble statues.
Here are the notable artists in ancient Greek during the classical period. Phidias. He was known around 488 to 431 BCE. He was regarded as one of the greatest sculptors of classical period. Among his many famous works of Greek sculpture, he is best known for his 40-foot statue of the goddess Athena at the Parthenon, Athens, and his colossal Zeus at the Olympia. Myron. He was active around 480 to 440 BCE. He was one of the greatest sculptors of early classical Greek sculpture. His most famous statue is the famous bronze figure of the disc thrower known as Discobolus. Praxiteles. He was active around 375 to 335 BCE. He was one of the greatest and most famous sculptors of ancient Greece. He is best known for his smaller-scale works of female subjects, including Hermes with the infant Knossos and his Aphrodite of Cnidus. His biggest ambition was to create a graphic illusion of life. He strived to make his art as realistic as possible. Like many Greek sculptors, he often employed a painter to color his statues to give them a more lifelike veneer. Polykleitos. He was active during the 5th century BCE. He is considered one of the most important and greatest sculptors of classical period. He created mainly bronze sculpture, and his most famous works were his Canon of Polykleitos and his Amazon figure. Polykleitos consciously worked to create a new approach for Greek sculpture and wrote a treatise to explain his methods and principles. Lysippus. Lysippus was active around 395 to 305 BCE. He was one of the greatest sculptors of the late classical period of Greek sculpture. He is best known for his marble and bronze sculpture of athletes, heroes, and gods. One of his official sculptures is Alexander the Great. Lysippus was particularly innovative when it came to setting the scale of the male body. His work is characterized by slimmer proportions of the body. He reduced the size of the head and elongated the limbs, which made his figure appear taller and more exquisite. Mnesicles. His career flourished in 5th century BC. He is a Greek architect who designed the Propylaea, which is the monumental gateway of the Acropolis. He was said to be one of the architects who designed Erechtheium. Callicrates. Callicrates was known during the 5th century BC. He is an Athenian architect who designed the Temple of Athena Nike on the Athenian Acropolis, and together with Echinus, he designed the Parthenon. He was commissioned by the Senate to construct the temple on the Athenian Acropolis. He designed the temple to be of Pentelic marble, small in size, and Ionic in order.
And that is all for today's exhibit. Thank you so much.